So, David, we're living in a time of pretty high anxiety, and that is certainly true for churches and for youth groups as well. One very obvious example is we are recording this when the pandemic is still doing its thing, and churches are having to make some hard decisions because of that. For those of us who work hard at emotional intelligence, can we bring that into a group and have that affect the decision making that happens around that table? Can you talk about the potential for that? Have you seen where one person and a leader can make a difference with their emotional intelligence when the anxiety is running so high?
I think we see a lot of situations where it doesn't work, right? Where things just blow up.
Yep.
But yeah, absolutely, Jill. So look, on the one hand, you want to start with that validation and recognition. This is a tough time. I would want to remind myself of, although some of my congregants seem perfectly happy and whatever, that I don't know what's going on when they go home. I don't really know. They tell me what they want to tell me. So have some of that understanding, reappraise things. Also understand that, look, from our point of view, anxiety is super helpful in many situations. It gets out of hand at times. So I would try to map all those emotions. I'd ask people how they're feeling. I'd match it. I'd show my compassion and my empathy. And this is hard. This is very difficult. I would try to understand your point of view, what's going on. And we have very different points of view here, opposite ends of a spectrum on that. Show a little bit of my anxiety and then manage it, validate it, right? And then investigate it, take that deep breath, reappraise, and treat people decently, kindly, respectfully, use all those emotion management strategies, take that pause, and come up with a solution that does, in a way that does two things. One is that you have to show that you care, right? So if you want to be that dispassionate pastor, what people might see is you actually don't care. You don't recognize the pain or the anxiety that we have. And that's really a problem. So show it, share it. But then, leverage those strategies, take that deep breath. And in that perhaps calmer voice, also using strong emotion words, but delivered in a way that can be heard. You will then may inject some, if not calm, because you may not want calm, but you may inject some understanding there. You may not solve it. Look, these may not be solvable problems, or solvable in a way that everyone walks away feeling satisfied.
Right.
But if they know that you care, and that you've really tried your best, and you recognize that the solution that people come up with is not going to meet everybody's needs, and it may meet no one's needs, but at this point in time, it's the best that I can do. I think acknowledging that can be helpful. Mm-hmm. But if you're expecting some perfect outcome, it's not going to happen. Yeah. And just share that and recognize that and say, I am sorry, this is not what I want to deliver, but here's why we're doing this. Here's how we're doing this. And here's how I've changed my mind based on these conversations. I think that's the best you can do. It's not a very satisfying answer, but I don't think there's any, if someone says they have an easy solution to these things,
isn't doing it well.
Yeah, I think you're actually not attending accurately to how people are feeling about all these things. And it's just going over your head.